has various formats of pins that you can use in your Pinterest marketing strategy. And there are going to be certain formats that are more used by certain demographics of people on Pinterest than others. We're going to get into that, I promise. In today's video, I wanted to walk you through what content or creatives work best on Pinterest based on different formats and how you can use those in your business. Now, I don't really want the point of this video to be, here are the best formats that work on Pinterest and you can only use these. I actually want this to be, here are the best formats of Pinterest pins that you can use in your business, depending on how you serve your audience. Hi, hello, my name is Farris, and I am a Pinterest marketing educator and strategist, and I've been doing this for 9 years. This is the longest thing I've ever done for a career in my life, and my millennial little heart definitely is proud of me for that. Now, this video was created in partnership with Pinterest, so let's jump right in. Pin formats on Pinterest. There are many different kinds. Well, maybe not many, but there's a handful of different kinds. And I want you to know what those are, as well as examples of how you can use each inside of your Pinterest marketing strategy. When creating Pinterest pins, I want you to also be thinking about the creative that you want to use in the pin. You don't necessarily have to think about the keyword first. You can also think about the actual asset or image or video that you want to use first, and then you can bring in the keywords later. So keep that in mind. So for example, you are launching a new product line of really cute shirts that say "Fix Your Face." This is from Literal Lines, by the way. I love her. And you want to showcase your shirts without text overlay on them because you want people to just see the shirts and the beautiful words on them. You can create these without text, and you can use your main keyword over on your pin title, and you can also use keywords in your pin description, and this would be an image pin. Now, you can also create a pin with text overlay if you wanted to. Put a frame of your model on the pin and then put some text overlay on there as well. So either way is relevant, and those are what we like to call image pins. Image pins are simply just an image with or without text on it that you are then linking to whatever you want it to link to, whether it's product, a blog post, a podcast episode, a YouTube video, whatever. Now, the goal of the Pinterest image, the image pin, is really what you have in mind. So your goal might be to drive traffic, your goal might be to drive sales, or your goal might be to drive waitlist signups for a new line that you're dropping. So now that you kind of have an idea of what we're going to talk about, let's talk about all of the different formats of Pinterest pins. You already know about image pins. Well, the next most commonly created Pinterest pin format are video pins. Now, video pins can come over to Pinterest in a variety of ways. Whether you are filming on your phone on your Pinterest app, and you are then creating the content in your app and then uploading that to Pinterest. Or whether you're filming an Instagram reel that is then coming over to Pinterest and you are optimizing it and driving it back to your store. Or you're filming on your camera and you're bringing that into your computer and you're producing a video pin that you upload to Pinterest. It doesn't really matter how it gets there, it just matters that it gets there. Here are a few aspects about video pins that you really need to know. They can range from 4 seconds to 4 minutes, and they are usually in a 9:16 format. So the Instagram reel size format is perfect for video pins. And a bonus, if you upload your video via the mobile app, you get a lot of extra little features that you don't get if you use the desktop version. So you get access to stickers, including product stickers, where you can link back to products that are featured in the video. You can also mention other creators if you've talked about them in the video. You can add fun little text and other components that Pinterest has inside the app, as well as music if you wanted to. Now, here are some examples of video pins. And as we take a look at some of these, I want you to just notice all the different types of video pins that are showcased and how you can position your content in the same way. So you can see here a video pin from Isabel Diaz. She is a really fun creator on Pinterest, and she's doing more of a storytelling type video where she's actually telling a story and bringing it full circle. Now, there are other examples on here where people are showcasing how-tos, they're showcasing tips, they're showcasing like get ready with me's. There's all sorts of ideas for videos that you can create, and we're going to talk about some more of those later in this video. Now, the next format of Pinterest pins that you can create are collage pins. Collage pins are heavily used by Gen Z right now, and they have been adopted by that generation. Now, collage pins actually remind me of when I was a child and we were cutting out physical magazines and pasting them on physical vision boards or art projects, or doing paper mache with the magazine cuttings, okay? This is that brought to life in a digital format, which is why I think so many of the younger people love them. Now, collage pins can be used in a variety of different ways. You can put together inspiration for your audience. You can put together a shoppable pin for them if you want to. But the point here is that you can use existing content either on Pinterest, content that you bring into the collage actual canvas from your phone, and I should say you can only create collage pins from your phone, or you can pin products and then bring those in. So whether it's something you've pinned already or whether it's something you want to bring in from your phone, you can use either to bring together and cut things out and make it into a cute little collage pin. Here are some examples of what collage pins look like. I'm actually just going to take you straight to the Collages Pinterest account, because what better way to show you collage pins than the account that's dedicated to collage pins. So you can see here there's just a bunch of different examples of like fingernail styles. This one's probably creepy. It's like creeping me out. So let's go to POV, you're in Italy, which that's gonna be me next month. I'm so excited. And you can kind of see all these different collage pins that people have made with the kind of like this Italian vibe or aesthetic, because they're Gen Z and they all use vibe and aesthetic in their vocabulary. Now, no shade to Gen Z, okay? I have a Gen Z kid. Collage pins are a fun way to create anything from planning ideas to mood boards to gift guides, shoppable pins, and more. I personally created a shuffle, when it was Shuffles collage pin, when I built my office, and it is still one of the most engaged pins on my Pinterest account during different seasons. Like it will fall and then it'll pick back up, and it'll fall and it'll pick back up. And I think people just like looking at different ideas of how other people are putting things together, or like what's on their vision board or their mood board or what's on their style board. This is actually a really great way if you are in the design space to put together ideas for clients as well. If you want to learn more about collage pins, make sure you watch our video on that. I will link it in the description down below, because Lord knows I do not know how to do cards. I know how, I just always forget. But I will link it in the description down below if you want to watch our video on collage pins. Now, the next format are product pins. Product pins are really simple and to the point. They are literally a pin for a product. Now, here's where things get even more complicated. You can create image pins, video pins, collage pins, infographic pins for products. You can do anything that you want for products. They're almost like not even a format. Like they are just there. It's product pins or product pins. Whether you're selling digital products or physical products, it doesn't matter. Product pins are product pins. Now, there are a couple differences between physical products and digital products, being that physical products you are obviously shipping, you can photograph, all of that great stuff. Whereas digital products, depending on where you have those housed and where you're selling them, you might not actually be able to use the product pin features on Pinterest, like creating an image pin and tagging your product in the image pin. You might not be able to see the shoppable information on the pin or get that rich pin information that comes from like Shopify per se, if you are selling from like Thrivecart, for example, but that's okay. It's still a product pin. You're still linking to a product page. You're still looking to sell a product via that pin. Like I said, you can do video pins, you can do image pins with text, without text, you can do mock-ups, you can even make collage product pins and kind of marry all of these things together. Let's take a peek at some of the product pin examples that I have mocked up for you today. Now, a number of these are actually bags that I found on Pinterest because I thought the pin examples were so pretty. And oftentimes in the product pin space, or the product space specifically, we will make product pins without a lot of text overlay on them because we want people to see the product. However, I would always suggest creating variations of image pins with text overlay as well. So you can see here an example of a pin that I pinned into this board that's like the 25 best bags for spring. I think this is just a really good example of how you can showcase an entire line that you sell in one pin. Now, the next example is a digital product, which I wanted you to see, and this is something that I actually created and sell. These are Pinterest templates that I made, and well, I didn't make them, my designer did. Actually, the same person editing this video made them. And I sell them in my store, and I also put them in my membership group. This is just a mock-up with iPad templates on Canva, where we actually take screenshots or download the images right from Canva, re-upload them as images, and put them in the frames so people can actually see what this would look like once they were done editing it. This wouldn't be a well-rounded example if I didn't give you another industry. This is another physical product, and this is skincare. And this is a really great step-by-step style image pin that this brand created, where they took a photograph of all their products and they told you the order in which you should use them, and they put a text overlay on the top that says a universal skincare routine or universal daily routine. I think this is actually a super fantastic way to create an image pin, especially if you are selling something that comes in groups, sets. Now, one of the most often asked questions I get in relation to product pins is how often should you be creating them if you sell products? Basically, what's the split between free content and paid content? And I tell everyone who asks me this question, I don't care how often you pin, you should be creating product pins every single week, okay? We create some weeks all product pins, and other weeks we create a mix of free content in the form of blog posts or YouTube videos and product pins. And don't forget your lead magnets too, okay? That's like a micro transaction. It might be free, but it's still a micro transaction that is happening. So, toss those in there as well. Okay, I wanna run you through like a quick hit list of these different pin formats and examples of how you could use them and what kind of businesses might use them. So you could create how-to content in the form of Pinterest pins. How-to content is actually great for all the pin formats, whether it is a video or collage pin or an image pin. You could also do a how-to pin with a product, especially if your product listing talks about how to use it or in what way to incorporate it into their lives. These types of pins are really good for skills-based content. So if you are teaching someone a skill or you're selling a product that's going to help them further that skill, this is going to be really good. So it could be for recipes, it could be for projects, it could be for products you're selling, it could be for marketing skills like what I do. Now the next pin type that you can create is a quick tip. Now you might be asking yourself, Heather, what's the difference between a quick tip and a how-to? Well, how-to is usually something from start to finish, right? This is how to cook shrimp scampi on the grill. I don't know if you would actually do that, but that's what came to my mind. Now, a quick tip is literally just like one little bite-sized piece of that overall how-to, right? So if you're teaching them how to cook on the grill, well, how do you get your pan to the right temperature? You take one little taste out of that how-to and you make one individual step for it, and you do one individual pin. So these can actually be in all the formats as well. So you could do a video, you can do a collage pin, you can do an image pin, or even a product pin with these quick tips. And of course, because you can do all the formats, both the how-to and the quick tip are good for business to consumers and business to business. Showcase a short and sweet tip about your skincare line, one specific piece of the skincare routine. Maybe it's how to, why you should wash your hands before you wash your face, right? That is a quick tip that some people might not realize that they need to do because they're already pumping soap onto their hands. They might not realize their hands have bacteria on them and they're introducing soap and bacteria to their face. Not everything needs to be in the video, just that one little quick tip. And then you can link them either to a blog post, a longer form video, or even the product line itself. Now you can also do comparison content where you compare one product to another, or one routine to another, or I don't know, one recipe, whatever to the other. It doesn't really matter. It's comparison, right? It can even be like before and after type content. So comparing the before to the after. You can do this in all 4 formats that we talked about today as well. So video, image, collage, and product. Now the next pin style that you can create is story-based. Do you remember back when I showed you earlier in the video pin example, and I talked about Isabel Diaz and how she creates story-based content in the form of Pinterest pins? You can also do this as well. So if you have a story behind a product or why you use it, this is probably best done in video. You could probably also create a collage pin if you're more talented than I am. You can, I do believe, use video in collage pins. I don't make many of them, so I can't really tell you for sure. You'll have to revisit my collage video to see. But do you have a story to tell about your product, the origin story of it, how it transformed your life or your product buyers' lives? Tell the story, share it with us. The last type of pin content I want to walk you through is showcase. This is actually really best done for products, whether it is a physical product or a digital product, but you're showcasing the product to the audience on Pinterest and you're showing them the product. Maybe you're showing them a purse and you're showing them every single angle as well as inside and how the zippers work. This kind of showcase content helps people to understand and connect with your content, with your pins, and want to know more and even perhaps click over to your website. Now, of course, this type of content is also done really well in image pins, video pins, collage pins, and product pins. So with that being said, most of these pin types can be created across pin formats, but you have to decide who's in your audience, who's engaging with your pins, and what kind of pins are those. So here's what I would do if I were you right now with this information. I would go to your analytics on Pinterest. I would pull the last 4 months of data. You could go back to 6, but it might remove your top pins down below, so you might have to play with the date range a little bit. And I want you to scroll down to the bottom where it says top pins, and I want you to look through your top pins and actually see what pins are in your top pins table. Are they video pins? Are they image pins? Are they collage pins? Are they product pins? What are they? And how many of each kind are there? If you notice that your top pins are heavily dominated by image pins, then your audience is probably going to engage with those no matter what. So you can try those others and just see what happens, but you want to default to image pins at the very least. Now, if you go in there and your top pins are all videos, then again, your audience is going to engage with those video pins, so you might want to try some of the other formats and just see what happens, but make sure you're defaulting to video pins. I don't want you to stop doing what's already working for you. I just want you to see what other types of pin formats you can create and see if you can incorporate those into your Pinterest marketing strategy to bring it more full circle. So now that you know what types of pins you can create within the formats of pins that you can make on the platform, I do hope that you will create some pins and share them with me. As always, any resources I have mentioned in today's video are going to be linked in the description down below. And leave me a comment. What kind of format are you excited to try out next in your Pinterest marketing strategy? For more Pinterest marketing tips and strategy for your business, head on over here and watch those videos.